The Northern Virginia housing market just shifted overnight. This is the biggest shakeup that we've seen in years. Buyers now have real negotiating power for the first time since 2022. But sellers who play it right are still winning big. I'm about to show you exactly what's behind the shift and what it means for your next move. All right, let's talk about what kicked this whole thing off. On September 17th, the Fed Reserve made a move that shook Northern Virginia's housing market overnight. And in the next few minutes, I'll show you what it means if you're buying or if you're selling right now. The Fed trimmed the benchmark rate by a quarter point, down to a range of 4.75 to 5%. Sounds tiny, right? But in real estate, even little shifts make big waves. This was the first cut of this year, after months of worry about the job market cooling. And the interesting part is that within days, 30-year fixed mortgage rates slid to 6.26%. It's the lowest since October of 2024. Just a week earlier, they were 6.35%. Doesn't sound huge, but it all adds up fast. Let me put it in real numbers. On a $750,000 home that's right around the median in Northern Virginia, that dip is going to save you about $75 a month. Over a 30-year loan, it's more than 27 grand. And that's when the market started to shift. Lower rates gave buyers more room to negotiate, and sellers had to work harder to stand out, something that we haven't seen since 2022. Now, most people stopped at the headline rate cut, but they missed the real story. The moment rates dropped, buyers jumped back in. Within 48 hours, mortgage applications spiked, and agents all over Northern Virginia were seeing more activity at almost every price point. The Fed also hinted that more cuts could be on the way this year. That lit a fire under buyers who don't want to miss the best rates that we've seen in almost a year. But stick with me, because the wild part is what happened next. Once rates dropped, inventory across Northern Virginia reacted in a way that we've never seen before. And the numbers will surprise you. But first, as always, guys, my name's Rick Hartunian, your trusted friend in real estate here in the greater DC area. My goal with this channel is to be your #1 resource for everything that you need to know about relocating to this amazing part of the country. And if you found this helpful, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Throw some questions in the comment section too. I make sure to answer all of them. So while mortgage rates were stealing all the headlines, something else was quietly going on. Northern Virginia just had its biggest inventory surge in years. And when you hear these numbers, you'll see why this flips the script for both buyers and sellers. Active listings jumped 36.4% year over year, hitting 2,475 homes in August. To put that in perspective, we haven't seen inventory like this since before the pandemic changed everything. That's almost 700 more homes for buyers compared to the same time last year. Supply jumped around 30%, now sitting at just under 2 months. Now, that's still a seller's market. A balanced market usually means about 6 months of supply. But the thing is, the pace of change matters. We're moving toward balance way faster than anyone thought. And check this out. Homes are now sitting on the market an average of 26 days. That's up from 18 days a year ago. 8 extra days might not sound like much, but in real estate, that's a big deal. Places that used to spark bidding wars the first weekend are now sitting 3, sometimes even 4 weeks. This is the highest inventory we've seen in years, and it's showing up at every price point. Starter homes in Fairfax County, more options. Luxury listings in McLean, you have more options. Buyers simply have more to pick from than at any time since 2022. And here's what that means. For the first time in over 2 years, buyers can actually slow down. They can compare homes, take their time, and negotiate terms sellers wouldn't even consider 6 months ago. Sellers are already throwing in extras like closing cost credit and home warranties just to stand out. And the timing couldn't be better for buyers who've been priced out or waiting for more choices. This is the opening that they've been looking for. But don't go anywhere, because it doesn't stop there. This surge lined up with something else in the market that most agents completely missed. And that twist takes this shift to a whole new level. Almost 60% of all mortgage applications are now refinances, the highest in 3 years. And that's creating a domino effect around here, changing how homeowners think about their homes and their next move. Refinance applications surged to nearly 60% of all mortgage activity within weeks of the Fed's rate cut. That's a massive jump from earlier this year, when they were under 30%. We're talking about homeowners who were stuck with higher rates, now cutting their payments by hundreds of dollars a month. For homeowners with older loans, this is a game changer. Someone who bought or refinanced 3 years ago at a 7.5% rate can now refinance at 6.26%. That saves $300 to $400 a month on a typical Northern Virginia mortgage. Over a year, that's $4 to $5 grand back in their pocket. Real money, which means more breathing room. And this is breaking down the rate lock effect that's been choking the market for more than a year now. Homeowners who felt trapped in their homes are finally seeing a way out. Here's what this looks like. Some homeowners are refinancing and then deciding to buy another property. Others are even keeping their old place as an investment while moving into a primary home. This refinancing wave is pumping energy back into the market. Lenders are reporting their busiest refi period since 2021. At the same time, it's freeing up buyer demand that's been sitting on the sidelines for months. And the bigger picture, this surge is breaking the logjam. Homeowners who once felt stuck are starting to move again. And that shift is feeding directly into what's happening with both buyers and sellers right now. Okay, so what does all this actually mean on the ground? For the first time in over 2 years, is buyers around here finally have some real negotiating power. And the sellers who get it, they're already changing how they play the game. No, this isn't a full buyer's market just yet, but it's the closest we've seen in a long time. Check this out. Even with more homes hitting the market, sales still went up. August closed with almost 1,500 homes sold, about 2% higher than last year. That tells you demand is alive and well, even with all the extra choices. This feels like a reset, and it's opening doors for the smart buyers and sellers. Total sales volume hit 1.287 billion. It's up almost 6%. So high-end buyers, they're still active, still paying top dollar when they find the right place. We're not seeing prices fall across the board, but we are seeing more wiggle room on terms. The median price landed at $750,000, which is up about 2%. But the twist is that more of those sales had some give and take. Think price cuts, seller concessions, or longer closings. Are the days of sellers getting exactly what they want on day one gone? Those are fading in a lot of spots. Buyers are also changing how they play it. Instead of rushing in sight unseen or waiving inspections, people are starting to slow down. They're using the longer market times to do homework and negotiate from a stronger spot. And get this, pending sales jumped almost 10%. So no, buyers aren't sitting around waiting for rates to drop more. They see today's setup as solid compared to the last 2 years. Sellers, meanwhile, they're learning fast. Homes that would have gone in the first week 2 years back are now sitting 3 to maybe 4 weeks. If you want attention today, you've got to price sharply from the start. Now, here's how the smart buyers are winning. They're getting pre-approved at current rates. They're being picky about what fits, and they're locking in terms that protect them. Smart sellers, they're pricing for today, not chasing what their neighbor got 6 months ago. Real talk though, as I told you, this still isn't a full-on buyer's market. With under 2 months of supply, sellers, they still have the edge, but it's the most balance that we've seen in years. And the ones who adapt first, buyers and sellers, are the ones walking away ahead. So here's the question, what does this mean for you? Let's break down exactly how to set yourself up to win. Whether you're buying, selling, or doing both, I'll show you the strategies that are working right now in this shifting market. Okay, whether you're buying or selling, the old playbook from 6 months ago, it just doesn't work anymore. In fact, it could cost you money. Let me walk you through what actually works right now. For buyers, the window is the best it's been in years. But you've got to be smart. Lock in these lower rates while you can. Sure, rates might go a little lower, but they could just as easily bounce if the economy shifts. Get pre-approved now so when the right home shows up, you're ready to jump. Take advantage of the extra inventory. You've got more choices, more room to negotiate. You can be picky. We can and will ask for inspections and push for terms that protect you. Just don't get too comfortable. The best homes in great spots, they're still moving pretty quickly. For sellers, the game has changed. You've got to price for today, not for what your neighbor got at the peak. Expect your home to sit on the market a little longer and make sure it looks sharp from day one. Professional prep really matters now. Think about sweetening the deal. Closing cost credits, home warranties, flexible timelines, things like that help you stand out when buyers have more to pick from. The sellers winning right now are the ones who know they're competing for attention. Looking ahead, experts see rates sliding toward the mid 6% range by the end of this year. Inventory will probably keep growing too, but still won't hit true balance. That means we're heading toward more even ground, not a full buyer's market. And the key is that the fundamentals around here are rock solid. We're right next to DC, the job market is strong, schools are top tier, and there's only so much land left to build on. Those things, they don't change. So what we're actually seeing is the market normalizing. Okay, so we've got lower rates, more homes to choose from, and strong long-term drivers. It adds up to a rare window of opportunity. Buyers and sellers who adjust their strategy right now, they're going to be the ones who come out ahead. The Northern Virginia market shift has created the best buying setup since early 2023. At the same time, sellers who price smart and position well still have strong opportunities. So whether you're buying your first home, moving up to something bigger, or you're selling to make your next move, the key is knowing how to play within these new conditions. If you're ready to make your move in Northern Virginia's shifting market, I would love to help. This reset gives buyers and sellers real advantages if they understand what's going on. Email me at rick@livingingreaterdc.com and let's talk about all your goals. The best homes are still moving fast though, even in this market. So timing does matter. And one more thing, click the video on your screen to discover why 75% of Northern Virginia residents move again within 5 years. This one tip could save you over $150,000 in unnecessary moving costs. Don't be part of that 75%. Click right now. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next week.